Good morning, everybody. This is a voiceover on a video I've done making two things using Paper Inspirations mystery box that Sue has put together. They will come out monthly, but June's has already sold out, so keep an eye out. First Saturday, 10 a.m. of each month. The next box will go live in July. So keep an eye out for it and get in early because it's sold out really, really quickly. So one of the items that's in the box is this craft folio. It's commercially made. It's got it's got an eyelet at the front, and the pink seam binding came with it. It's got a little pocket on the right hand side. Now I've already done some splatters with some gilding polish. I use copper and I've gone around all the edges and I've inked it all. So this is the gilding polish that I used. It really is very good. I added water to it to put the splatters on, and it worked really well. I was very pleased with it. Now, through this video, I will be using some of my own supplies, but there is enough in this box to be able to make a few projects, and then you will have a lot of little bits of ephemera left over because this box is stacked with loads of really, really lovely stuff for you to use. So, yep, I've just inked. Now we open it up. Now on the facing page, I've chosen to use, this is just a little paper that I've done, and I've put my coffee dyed paper there to make a pad. The box does come with half a dozen, I think it is, patterned coffee dyed paper, but because they're really, really lovely, I didn't want to cut anything off them. So I've put the pages aside that came in the box, and I've just used my plain coffee dyed paper there as a notepad. So that will glue down on, I've sewn across the top of it, and that will glue down there on the left side. So there we go, there's the pad there. Now the next thing we're going to do is I've cut out a little piece of the same paper, and I'm just going to layer that on top of the pocket. I don't want to put too much over the folio itself because I really do like the look of it. I really like it. So there, that little piece goes over the pocket like so. And then I am going to use a Stampers Anonymous crackle stamp, and I'm just lightly stamping it just to break it up a little bit. It's a bit hard for you to see. I just wanted it to just be light, subtle. I didn't want it to sort of like take away from the folio itself. So the box comes with 6 cards. They've got lovely patterns on them once again. Sue does beautiful patterned coffee dyeing, and they are really lovely. Now this twine that came in, the fibre came, it's not a twine, it looks a lot like the sari, repurposed sari, but this feels more like a cotton, and it's got a gold thread through it. It's really, really beautiful. So I've cut bits of that and I've put them on all 3 of the tags. So I did the eyelets and the tags there. So then we're going to go on and decorate the 3 tags. That little stamp comes in the box, so you get 2 stamps. So that one goes, so just decorating the three tags. So that's just a pretty little one. Now I'm going to use Field Notes. It's a Stampers Anonymous stamp pad. And once again, this is just, it's optional. There's enough in this box that you don't have to do this. It's just the way I chose to go with this particular tag. I didn't want them to bulk out too much because they are going to sit down into that pocket. So that's that one done. Now this is, I think Sue just calls it Cotton Fuzz. It's a beautiful, beautiful soft fibre. It feels like cotton to me. But it might not be. So I'm just cutting it in half and putting a little bit there. The ephemera that I've got in my hand there, I'm just going to go over it with a little bit of ink. That's one that came in the box. you certainly don't need to be looking for any other ephemera or decorating things, because there is a lot in the box. I just chose to just pop that little bit of fibre in there. And Pippa's come to say hello. That's Miss Pippa. She probably will star in quite a few of my videos. So I'm just stopping it now, waiting for Madam to think that it's okay. There we go, she's moved on. So here's the third tag. Now once again, that's a piece of ephemera out of the box. And that's a washi tape, and it's like tickets, and it's really good. Now I've cut another little bit of fibre, and look for fibre wherever you can. That's actually a white lawn, pure white lawn, that I made a petticoat for my granddaughter to go under one of her dresses, and I've just thrown it into the tea dye when I was doing some papers. So it's just a very tiny little offcut. So I'm just trying to stick this down here. These stickers aren't as difficult as I make them out to be. I think I'm struggling because I've got my head back away from the camera, and I'm used to sitting right over the top of my work. So now I've got a distressing tool. I do believe it's a Tim Holtz one, and once again I got that from Sue's shop. So I've gone around all three of them, and these are like a manila folders, so when you distress them, you get a really, really good edge. It's like the fibres are exposed, and it takes up the ink beautifully. So we're just finishing off the third one there. So that should be all three of the tags done now. Trying to do each of them just a little bit different. So now I'm looking for something to just embellish the front of that pocket. These are the little lace motifs that come. They are just beautiful. They're thin. I believe they're uniquely creative. And they're sold separately in Sue's shop as well. So I'm just going to do a simple little collage here. Now what I've got here is these are tea bags, and I buy them to do my coffee dyeing with. So my tea dyeing, coffee, they're tea bags. And when I'm finished, I've got all these tea bags. So I just lay them out and dry them. Then I get the tea out of them, and I've ironed them, and then they make a nice little thin backing, so it works really well. Just gives a little bit of break up the background a little bit so that motif can be seen. So now I've got a little piece of string and I'm tying a bow on it. I think in hindsight this just blends in too well. You can see it a lot better than what it shows up on the camera, but probably a little contrast bow would have perhaps worked better. So now I'm looking at that, and I've got that all over one side. I've decided to use a saying. Once again, this is optional, and I'm using the white, the sayings printed on the white. They're Tim Holtz, and I just sometimes I'll just run the brush with a little bit of leftover ink over it just to take the starkness out of it. So I've got that saying glued down onto the pocket, and now I'm just going around with the gilding polish, just putting a little bit of a gold edge on the cards. So there, that's all done now. So those tags are finished. A little bit of fluffing about, a little bit of I don't know what I'm doing, preening the cards. So I've decided that those words aren't showing out too much. So I've just grabbed my Stabilo, and I'm just underlining it with the black, and then I proceed to make a huge mess out of it like I always do. So I just, with a wet one that's not too wet, I just smudge up the black, and it just highlights the words. Otherwise you wouldn't have seen the words, they were getting lost. So that's everything that needs to be done on that side of the page. So now all that's left to do on the inside is to glue this notepad down. Now I've used fabric tack for this because it's a really, really strong glue. I'm quite sure the glitter glue would work just as fine. I have a tacky glue I use. I'm sure they'd probably work all the same. Now this doily is the one that the paper that you get is wrapped in when you open up your box. So I've decided to use the doily on this, and I'm liking the contrast of white against the craft paper. So I'm just fiddling around here looking to get a collage happening and seeing what I'd like to do. So I'm getting pretty close to liking what I've got there. So on this one, I am going to use the field notes again, and I'm just going to stamp. I think I'm going to put a number on this one. I could have just put that little butterfly there on there, and you wouldn't need to have stamped that at all. That's just me checking, just to double check that I've got it sitting on the block the right way up and it's straight. So this is just putting together the little collage that I just laid out. Now with these pieces of paper that you see me use, they're waste copy paper from my husband, and I used them to glue on, to ink on, to wipe extra mediums up, and then eventually I have a piece of paper that I can use. I can cut it into a strip to get like this book clip here, book strip there. Now what I've decided to do with these stickers, because I was having so much trouble trying to get them level, they're very tactile, I've decided to put them for two reasons. I'm putting it onto a piece of manila folder. I want that sticker. They're quite thin stickers. They're really thin and there's no bulk in them, which is what you want for ephemera throughout your journal. But because I want this as a focal point and I'm gluing it over different thicknesses, I thought that one, it would sit better if it was backed, and two, it also means that I can actually get it straight. So I guess it's an extra step that you don't have to worry about. But when I'm, like I said, when I'm using it as a focal point, I like it to sit on top of what's behind it rather than it just blending back in. So now we're just putting the two little butterflies on our cover. There's just so many butterflies. It's just amazing. They're absolutely beautiful. I've never been a sticker person, but I do like these clear ones. So that's it. I'm just going around. I did glue that down, but I didn't glue the lacy bits down. So I've just decided to put a little bit of glue there so it doesn't catch and rip. So now we're going to the back side, or the front side. You can call it whichever way you want to. I'm just going to put some stamping down. I don't want it too dark once again. I just want it to be subtle so you can't pick it up with the camera. But it's just a light imprint. And just trying to rock it backwards and forwards, not trying to avoid getting an edge from this, like a stamp from the edge of it on there, so it looks like it's continuous. So that's just to break it up at the back. So now here we go, we're just going to be rebuilding or building our collage on the back. So thinking. Yep. So we're going to go with that one once again, like I said. Now with these stickers, when you take the backing off it, put the top or the bottom down, and then pull your backing from below. Don't rip it all off in one go, because these they're beautiful stickers and they're nice and thin, and they will roll up on themselves if you just rip the backing off them. If you just do it gently, it won't happen. Like I said, this is the extra step I take, because I find with my hands and trying to keep my head out of the way, it's easier for me to have it onto a backing. So now I've decided that this is going to be a pocket. So I'm just going to glue around the 3 sides. So by putting it on the manila folder, it gives you the freedom of being able to do a pocket. So we'll just get that down there nice. And so I did actually forget to glue this down. It was the first thing I did on the front, but I got a little bit excited and forgot to put this one down. So just taking care of that. Yeah, I was waiting for me to go back and do that. I don't know why I missed it in the first time. So I like to get the edges glued down on these because they're delicate. It's quite easy to catch them, and if you catch it, it'll just rip away, and it would just ruin anybody's day. So now what I'm doing now is I'm just getting a tag. This is manila folder that's been tea-dyed. So I'm just getting a tag sorted. Need to have it just a little bit shorter. So I have sped this video up, which basically means I work at the same pace as everybody else. I'm very laborious. I'm very slow at my crafting, particularly when it comes to embellishing. I like to think about things and ponder and just check and make sure I haven't got anything better and all that sort of thing. You kind of like just get caught up in what you're doing, and you lose sight of the big picture. So I'm just going to be putting this down now. So back to these bits of paper you see me use. They end up quite thick because I do, as you can see, glue on them. If I'm doing any tea staining, I put it in to protect pages in between, or put it on there rather than constantly wiping up ink with a wet one. It just means that everything goes onto this paper, and it works out really well. I've got a butterfly punch, and you can use it for different things, like run it through your die cut machine, and get some make some ephemera out of it, and it really does come out quite pretty. So now I'm just doing underneath these, just to make them stand out just a little bit more. So I'm just using the wet one. It's been out for a little while, so it's starting to dry, but I'm trying to get it so it gets right up in underneath that the sticker itself. So I've just done that, and you can see it just makes it stand out a whole lot more. So there you go, that's a little tag that's in there. And now in one of the little boxes, you would have seen all beautiful little apricot, tiny little delicate flowers, and they really are very pretty. And one of those little matchboxes that Sue has made is full of these little flowers. So now I'm just trying to get them to stick. I've just put a cluster of 3 down. It's once again, they're very, very delicate little flowers, and they won't be like, you can go through and put them on pages of a journal you're making, and they will not be a problem at all. They're so fine, and they're just delicate and pretty. That's it. So I'm just putting the 3rd one down now. Just a little cluster of the 3 of them. Pippa's just come up again. I let her out the front, but when Graham just popped in, he's let her in again. So she's not happy with me. She's swishing her tail in my face. I'm not sure what's her problem. But she got her breakfast, and I don't think she likes it, so she wants me to give her something else, which she's not getting. So I think this is just showing you the end result of it. This is what it looks like on the inside of our little folio. And this is just one idea that you can do using the contents of the box. But yeah, you might have something totally different, and that would be good if you did. So now I've made a little notebook. Once again, that's just one of my papers. You don't need to use one. There's, as you can see, the pattern on that tea dyeing there, or coffee dyeing if Sue uses coffee. You can see the beautiful patterns, and that would be quite good enough for a front cover if you so wanted. So I've just got our bookbinding caddy out. They're just so convenient, and I use those oversized. Now I've picked up this awl, and it's not as good for. There we go. I'm getting the oil that isn't a little bit dull. So, and the other amazing thing that you're seeing here is I'm punching holes in this, and I haven't measured anything. For those who don't know me, all the people that do know me are probably either got their jaw open to their waist, or they've just passed out in their chair when I say I've just done that without measuring it. It's really quite liberating. To some it mightn't seem like a big deal, but trust me. Now I'm just doing a 3-stitch pamphlet here, and you will see me start it again. Keep an eye on your tail, that you don't pull it out the other side. Otherwise, like me, you'll be doing it again. Now when you're doing the 3-stitch, what you need to do is you're going to have one big stitch that's going to go from the bottom to the top on the inside. And what you want to do is you want to make sure that your threads, your two ends, are on either side of that cotton that runs straight up through the middle. So I'm basically just saying that now. So you have one to the left and one to the right, and then you bring it up over that big stitch and you tie it in a knot, and it basically just means it's just nice and secure. Now before you tie off, you would have seen me just checking to make sure that the stitches were nice and tight. I apologise for my dogs. Graham took them out the back so that I could have some peace and quiet, and they've decided that I don't need peace and quiet. So what I'm just thinking around here now, I'm going to go away at this stage, and I'm going to embellish this notebook. We all know how to do that, so I'm going to stop the video, and when we come back, I will do a flip through. Okay, so what I've done now is I've gone through and I've added 3 coffee dyed papers of my own, and I've done that mainly because, as you can see, I've added a pocket in here, and I've added 3 pockets in. I've done the same with the 3 pages that I added, and it's so that we can put those beautiful tags that came in the box. It gives them a home. So what have I done here? So I've just put the pocket down. So we're going to have 3 pockets. So here we are back again. I have gone off, like I said, and I've decorated. So the fuzz is extra. That sticker is in the mystery box. And that's just that's the fuzz that I used, and that's all that needs. And here, this is a little paper bag that I believe, I'm not sure, maybe the stamp came in that, but it doesn't matter. It was packaging, so I've used one of the little lace motifs and one of the bags. Now you get oodles and oodles of butterflies. So I'm pointing out to where these things came from. So those little ones down the bottom, they were in one of the matchboxes full. It was full of it. So I've just added a few words here and there, and also to the ties at the top. They were the bit of seam binding that held the tags together. So I've just put a little stamp down there that was in the box. That's the washi tape that was in the box. That paper's beautiful, isn't it? More butterflies. Once again, that came, and that stamp down in the bottom right hand corner, that is a stamp that comes with the box. So you get 2 stamps in this one. And then I've just gone through and used ephemera on different pages, and I've put a little bit of fibre behind it. So there we go, and I put that one up there, and that's the third pocket in there that gives us the opportunity then that we can use those 3 tags. And yeah, and just all these came out of the box, and there's so many more left for us to use. So in this video we have made 2 little items. We've made a little notepad jot journal, I don't know what you want to call it, jot folio, and we've got our little tag at the front, and when we open it up we've got our writing pad, our notepad, and then on the right hand side there's plenty of pages in there, and then on the right hand side you can choose to write on the back of those tags. So I'm just saying that cotton motif, I'm trying to figure out where the camera is as I go up, just to give you a closer look at that motif. They really are so delicate. So there we have it, pretty much. That's our little folio done. And it's just lots of fun to make, because like everything is in front of you that you need. It's just all in one place, which is a resource box, this box here, and it's absolutely amazing. Really, really happy with it. Sue is thankful and grateful of the support that she has received with how many people just bought. So these are bigger pieces of ephemera that was in the box. They're for postcards. I'll use them for a bigger journal. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. As always, be kind to yourself and be kind to others. And thank you for watching. Bye.